Today we're going to be making a video for all you ladies out there. It's going to be my opinion of the C8 Corvette Z06.
What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for pressing play. Today we are going to be doing a review of the C8 Corvette Z06, but we're going to be doing it a little less car guy-ish and a little more car girlish. All right, guys, so like I said there in the beginning, we are going to be doing a little bit of a different style review today. I have not officially given my review on this car yet, and I wanted to bring in Amber, who is obviously my wife, to give a more generalized car girl version of her review because, believe it or not, I've been asked a bunch of times about what she thinks and not so much about what I think. So you guys seem to want to know what her opinion is on this car, and I think it's a great idea because it's going to bring a softer side to the review game of the car, and what it's going to do is kind of break things down in a little bit less of a technical way. Obviously, I'm a car guy. I'm really invested in cars like this. This is my living at this point. She is a car girl as far as she really likes cars. She likes nice cars. She likes being in the car game, but she doesn't do her own maintenance or mods or anything like that. So it is a little bit different. She's going to bring a much more generalized approach to this review. And I think a lot of you guys out there want to see that. I want to start involving her more in the videos moving forward because a lot of the videos I'm going to be doing are going to be more like vlog style videos, and that's going to include my life, which is obviously my wife, my dog, my cars, all this stuff. But anyway, enough talk for me. I'm going to turn it over to Amber. Let's see what her opinion is on this particular car. I wanted to really quick mention ProClip as the sponsor of today's video. ProClip makes the mount that you're going to want for your car. It's an extremely easy to install system that does not require any kind of permanent modification, tape, or screws. It clips in and it can be removed as easily as it is installed. Like I said, it is a two-part system, meaning that it will have just the arm for the C8 Corvette that wraps around the back of the infotainment system, and then you will choose whichever mount best fits your phone to go on the front. The best part, you can actually save 10% just by using the code HPO10 and following the link in the description down below. Now, Amber, what I'm going to ask you right off the bat is the car that I had before, the 2020 C8 Stingray. Do you like this one better than the Stingray?
Is that really a question?
We're going to start easy.
I definitely like this one better. I think just the more aggressive look, it seems like it pops out on the sides, if that's the word that we're supposed to use. On the sides, it's more aggressive. The front grille, I know the C8 Stingray we had didn't have the nice wing like it has now, which it wasn't like that when we picked it up, and I was like, well, where's the wing? Yeah. Dive planes in the front. I've learned all this terminology just from hearing you talk on the phone, that the wheels are concave, and I think this is the first set of factory wheels in the C8 lineup that actually look okay, like it could stay on the car. The C8 Stingray wheels were just real basic, and they had that, the word's not machine look. What's the wording I'm looking for? It
had the machine lip.
Yeah, I didn't like that. These ones are, that's what drew me to the C7 Z06 was a lot of spokes on the wheel. I think it was attractive looking.
If you weren't going to ever change a wheel on a car, this kind of style wheel is the way to go. The C8 Stingray in general, the majority of the wheels that come with the car, even the newer forged ones that are actually nice, they still just don't fit the car right in my opinion. So these ones, however, do. So I think the carbon fiber ones do as well, but of course those are big money, so we didn't go that route. What I would also have Amber tell us is maybe which version did you like better as far as the color's concerned? The torch red of my C8 Stingray or the black of the Z06?
I was into the red at first, but obviously owning a black Cadillac XT5, I'm into black. I think the red, I don't know, I didn't really care for the red. Red's not my color, and if it's red, I would have went for Long Beach red, but I prefer the black over the red. Even the satin wrap. I don't think I would have done the satin wrap on.
So she's a Long Beach red, or in this case, a red mist girl. I guess that's for you, Judy.
Yeah, that is for Judy.
So she prefers the black, she prefers the Z06 because the body's a little bit wider, the side intakes stick out a lot further, and they definitely do. And the front bumper's all opened up. So, I mean, really those are pretty much the key points I would have hit on as well. The car in general is 3.5 inches wider, which of course gives it that much more aggressive look. How about the mods? How are you feeling about the mods?
Pretty much all you've done so far is the Segala Z07 package. I mean, there's been a little thing here and there, but...
Well, I lowered it with Paragon too.
You did, that's right. Corey helped you with lowering it.
And she actually noticed that pretty quickly when we opened up the garage door. She's like, oh yeah, it looks like it's lower. And I was, yep.
And that's the thing with the front end lift, we need it getting out of our driveway.
Right.
So even though it's lowered, you still have that extra 2 inches to pull out of the driveway. It doesn't seem like much, but I still like the ZR1. This is just, I don't know. This is gonna be my first time even driving it.
Yeah, so I haven't even told you guys yet, we are gonna go for a drive. So Amber's gonna get the entire thing, basically. So she's gonna get behind the wheel, she's gonna see the difference, because she did drive the 2020 as well. So she knows how the C8 Stingray handled, she knows how it drove. We're gonna see what her opinion is on whether or not this car drives differently, how it feels. One more thing though, let's talk about the interior. How does the interior feel to you compared to the Stingray?
I think it feels more quality. I think the package that you chose, the 3LT, I think it's better quality. I like the red stitching. I know that's your thing, like the TRX has the red stitching. It just adds more accents and makes it pop a little bit better than all black was kind of just blending in like a meh.
So my 2020 C8 Corvette was a 2LT, whereas this is a 3LZ. So
oh, a 3LZ.
Yeah,
Let me correct that.
That's okay. So the interior quality, the leather is higher quality. This one obviously has also the level 2 carbon fiber, which, what do you think about that carbon fiber down the center?
I like the car. I'm into the carbon fiber. Actually, believe it or not, my Cadillac also has carbon fiber.
Yeah, it does.
He used to tease me about that. He's like, yeah, but your carbon fiber in your Cadillac is not real. And I was like, no, it's real. It was a joke for what, probably 6 months after I bought it? And he looked it up and it was actually real.
No, I had her going for a long time. I knew it was real, but I kept saying that it was fake because I wanted her to believe it was fake. And she got to the point where she did believe it was fake. And then I said one day just randomly, I was like, you know, this is real carbon fiber. She started laughing.
I feel great now. I got some carbon in my car.
So lastly, Amber, I'm going to ask you, since you've been a passenger in the car, how do you feel about the ride quality compared to the Stingray?
How about this? Less questions. Let's get it out on the road.
All right, guys, we're going to take it for a ride. It'll be her first time driving. She's going to give you all of it. We'll put it all out there for you guys.
Hey guys, we just switched seats and I'm in the driver's seat now. Here's some of the things that I like. I like the way that the seats feel. They're pretty comfy. I know a lot of people have questions about the competition seats and how comfortable they are. I like sitting down lower. I know in my SUV I sit up a little bit higher. The only thing is the visibility. I'm used to sitting up higher, so the visibility don't seem as great. I like how all the controls are within arm's reach. The bolsters are a little bit higher, so it makes it getting in a little bit more difficult because you've got to kind of hoist yourself up over them. But overall, I think it's more positive than negatives.
What do you think about the steering wheel?
Small.
It's square.
Okay, the steering wheel's square.
Do you like that or not?
I don't know. I'm used to driving with a round steering wheel. Ready to go for a ride?
Let's do it.
Seems louder sitting in the driver's seat than it does the passenger seat. It rides just like the C8 does, other than it being louder.
And stiffer.
And stiffer a little bit. It's hard to kind of, I mean, I'm used to it, but if somebody was sitting in this driver's seat, the sides throw off where you're at on the actual road.
Because it's so wide?
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like...
It takes a little while to get used to a wide sports car on the road.
The one that was really wide is that C7 Stingray we rented. That thing was like, seemed huge on the road.
That was the skinniest of all 3 cars we've talked about.
Yeah.
Give it a little bit of gas.
I'm going to give it some sauce.
Some sauce.
It's real easy. It's real smooth.
It is.
Are we in Tour or?
This is Tour suspension, sport steering, track exhaust, and sport transmission as well.
Whatever all that means.
Yeah. Well, most of the viewers will probably know what that means, but basically means the suspension is as soft as it goes, and everything else is kind of in the middle.
It doesn't like to go slow.
No, it doesn't.
It seems like it's pulling back.
Yep. At slow speeds, this transmission gets pretty jerky. But when you're you know, 30 plus miles an hour, especially if you're on the throttle, it starts to smooth out.
If I let off the gas, it just wants to pull back. It almost wants to like slow down and stop. I like the heads-up display. That's something that's really convenient. Steering wheel is comfortable to hold. I usually drive down in the middle, but it seems like it's comfortable at 9 and nothing.
It is a 9 and 3 kind of grip.
Yeah, but I'm comfortable like this.
Yeah.
I usually drive with one hand anyways. Usually one hand's out the window, the other one's on the steering wheel. Steering wheel is comfortable. It's soft. Seems like there's not a lot of window to see. It's more of there's a lot of it at a slant. Whereas all mine is just like right there. I like how it sounds. Definitely way louder than stock C8 was.
Get on a little bit.
It handles nice. There's no sliding, like it just wants to stick to the road. I like the pops. This is a crazy exhaust for just being factory. Wonder what the AWE exhaust is going to sound like. It's just you got to press on it just a little bit and it goes fast. I'm barely even pushing on the gas.
Those are the best kind of cars, right?
Back road driving is nice. A lot of curves.
All right, guys, so there you have it. That's kind of her first drive. We're going to get home and kind of sum it up. There was a lot of things she liked, a lot of things she didn't like. We weren't able to really fully open up the car because we're just driving around town, but one of these days, you know. We'll get back to the house, talk about some of the things she liked and some of the things she didn't. All right, guys, so there you have it. For those of you out there who have been wondering what her opinion is on the car, this was the first time that she got to drive it. It was on some back roads, so we didn't get to really open the car up, but maybe in the future. Of course, there's always a little bit more time for that kind of stuff. But tell us what questions were answered for you whenever you drove this car today.
I just want to know how fast it goes when you put a little bit of gas on it.
I tried to get her to put some gas to it, and she wouldn't do it past the one stoplight. It's a little bit different. It's the first time driving it, so I get it. So what were your thoughts on the car?
It drives smooth. It's loud. It hugs curves and turns like amazing.
You said that you think it rides like the C8, the Stingray?
It's similar, and that's just from me how I feel when I sit in the driver's seat. It's definitely louder. I mean, this one. It's amazing how loud it sounds.
Yeah.
Whereas you started the C8 up and it was like, did it just start?
It wasn't that quiet.
It wasn't quite like that, but it was not as loud as this one is.
Yeah.
They changed a lot on this one. The wheels are a lot better to choose from. The exhaust sounds better. The 3LZ steering wheel, and it just feels smooth in the hands. It's easy to grip. Not used to square because my everyday it's round. So it's the little sports car, I guess, feels odd to me because
Yeah,
I'm not used to driving that all the time. Whereas I'm more of like a soccer mom SUV kind of thing.
So what did you think about the suspension on the car? I know you said it was similar to the C8 Stingray, but elaborate a little bit on that.
I guess in my terms, it's tight. I don't feel like I'm bouncing as much. That's like the best thing I could say. I don't feel like I'm bouncing as much, and I could feel it when I'm driving it. It feels, I guess, planted.
There you go. Yeah.
It's planted and it feels like it's sticking to the ground.
Yeah. So at one point while we were driving, I don't know if I was recording at this point, but we ran over some gravel, and of course
it kicks it all up.
The tires are so sticky, it's picking up all the gravel, and she said something about it, and of course I noticed it because you can't not notice that in this kind of thing. The tires on the car are sticky enough, they're wide enough that you're going to get a real nice grip, and you know, it's going to feel more planted to the road. So obviously I agree. She noted that the exhaust was louder, which I've talked about a couple times on the live videos, where she's consistently talking about how loud it is, more so than I am. And it's a good thing. GM really seems to have learned from their mistakes, we'll say, mistakes in quotes, with the C8 Stingray, where one of the first two things that I would do with a C8 Stingray is get a new exhaust and then put new wheels on it. So those two things right off the bat have been addressed. You don't really have to do either one of those two things, even though I'm probably going to end up doing both those things. But you don't have to, because in this case, they look really good from the stock setup.
Especially when you start it up, it's really loud.
It
actually says glass heard breaking in the garage on our video and our cameras we have.
So we have a glass brake sensor in the garage, and every time this car starts, it sets that sensor off because of how loud it is. Yeah.
I don't know. I like being the wife of a sports car owner, and lets me drive nice cars every so often. Still trying to get behind the ZR1 once I get a little bit more, I guess, once I get better at it.
Yeah.
I'm not used to speed. Like, you don't really have a vehicle that's under 700 horsepower. I mean, my little, what, is it like 305?
306 or 308. 308, yeah.
308.
Yeah.
And man, that really is fast. Pedal to the metal on that one.
Yeah. So
I feel cool. Does that sound weird? No. I feel cool. Like, I like the top off. I like to be by myself, blast my 80s music, and like don't have a care in the world.
I'm not a big fan of having the top off on the car because of my height, the way that the window glass ends. It ends like right at my forehead, and it's just not a comfortable ride for me in that sense. But I do like that it does come off, because, you know, those crazy days where I feel like taking it off, I'll take it off. On my ZR1, I've had that top off in 4 years, 4 times. So that's about once a year. So
it feels like a convertible when the top's off too. Like where you don't like a convertible, but yet it can feel like a convertible once the top comes off.
Yep, it's the best of both worlds.
I appreciate you all coming along for my ride. Glad I got the opportunity to explain everything to you. Once I get the feel in driving a little bit more, maybe I'll be back on and do something different. Give HPO a thumbs up if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell notification for future videos. And hope to see you in the next video. Later.